Whoa, welcome back to Geekshow Arcade. Here we are again, talking about video games and video game related things.
My favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah, here. And we got some good stuff this week. But before we get to that, let's introduce our illustrious panelists.
Ooh.
Starting with Jaren, who looks just ecstatic to be here.
Hey guys, it's Jaren. Call me on Blue Sky Jeronius.
Jaren.best.
All right, that's Jaren.
There
We
you
got
go.
Lando.
Hey, it's Lando. I bring all the energy 3 times as much as Jaren, coming at you hot. It's awesome. Everyone loves me. I'm the best. I don't play a lot of games, but I endure the show anyway, and I do it for you guys. I try to be funny when I can. Sometimes I kind of shut up and ignore what's going on. You never know what's going to happen with me, and that's Lando. I'm going to be honest.
I want you to pay attention, man. Participate.
I do pay attention.
All right, Owen.
Hey, currently looking up McDonald's prices at LaGuardia Airport.
That's supposed to be for tomorrow.
Yeah, but Owen wants to know now, so that's gonna probably be a thing. Yeah, follow me here. You can follow me on. No, you can't. Just follow me here, seriously, or else you're gonna find me. I'm aloof. I'm a ghost, a lurker in all other social platforms.
Yeah.
But apparently here I get on and tell deep secret stories that I should never tell anybody.
In
So-
between.
In the in-between. Lando's going to talk about that. in
Not
a
this
minute.
week though. Not this week.
Not this week. We need two more Patreon subs. We unlock bonus Owen content, and if it's half as good as the previous Owen content in the in between, you're in
It's
for a
probably
real
half as
treat.
good. And we have a host. His
That's
name's
me.
Tony.
I'm Tony. Check me out. We got an email we're going to read. It's pretty great. I'm excited for it, to read it again. I'm excited for Jaren to read it again. Check me out on Twitter at Blue Sky. Check me out on Blue Sky at Quad T. Wow, that was weird. And on other Geek Show podcasts. Okay. Jaren, I know we got an email, at least one. Let's hear it.
All right, I got an email from James. Not that James. Another
Different James.
James. Different James. Hey all, here's the deal. I am an avid-ish gamer with a lowly 3060 GPU. My kiddos mainly use my old Xbox One with the Game Pass. Lately, several of the games I've wanted to play have been streaming only due to the age of the Xbox. Indiana Jones, Clair Obscur, Savage Planet 2. As you all know, streaming games sucks. I'll probably be picking up Clair Obscur anyway to play on my Steam Deck, but the main question I have is if upgrading to a used Xbox Series X in this case would be worth it. Also, what are some things I should look out for when purchasing from GameStop or Facebook Marketplace? I'll also be throwing a Patreon your way when I get home from work today.
Oh, yeah. I would say, first of all, thank you for writing in. And secondly, yes. Buying a used Xbox Series X, I think, is totally worth it if you can find a decent deal on one and it works. That's the one caveat. Facebook Marketplace is probably okay.
It's hard to test those
But, yeah, that's the thing.
when you get them, because they could have issues that only happen under certain conditions. It's so hard
After
to
it
trust
heats up or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, honestly, a 3060 is good enough to play these games. At 1080p with like medium settings, you're probably okay with all these games.
Probably. So that's something to think about as well. But it sounds like he wants to play on Xbox.
True.
So I would
Every
say
once in a while, you can find a refurbished Xbox
That's-
Series X.
exactly what I was going to say. If you can find a refurbished Xbox Series X, then that's the play right there.
Mine, too, has been bequeathed to my children. I just don't play on the Xbox console anymore. I just let them play all of that. And the controllers, I can't even look at them. What they've done to them. It's disgusting.
I'm looking on GameStop right now to see what their prices are, and oh my gosh.
It
This is
looks
crazy.
Like, Best Buy sells some refurbished
Does eBay do? Or can you find a refurbished on eBay? Did they do manufacture?
$470 is the cheapest. No, that's sold out. Never mind.
Microsoft sells them direct, refurbished.
Sold out there too.
Sold out there. All right.
Yep.
So what I was seeing, and it's been a while, I have to admit, but what I saw for a few times last year was on Woot.com. They were selling Microsoft recertified Xbox Series X's for about $320. And if you can jump on a deal like that, oh yeah, go for it, 100%. But I'll bet the best you're going to be able to do is around $400 on Facebook Marketplace. And like I said, if you can prove that it's working great, awesome, do it. But otherwise, it's slightly risky.
Thanks, James.
Indeed.
There's another email, isn't there?
No,
There's
that was
one
all
more.
of them.
No, I think there's another one.
There's one more.
Yep.
Oh, wait,
can read
you're
it.
right.
I'll pull it out.
You're right. No, I found it. Okay. This is from Alex. He says, love the podcast. I know you put in a lot of work and long nights to record them, and I appreciate it. I highly encourage not trying to cut off and speed them, as that always bums me out, but I'm also not the one sitting for hours for the recordings. Oh, thanks, Alex. Thank you for all you do.
Oh, you skipped a part.
I would tell you to rate my rig, but my video card burnt out, so I game on an M1 Mac right now. Ooh,
10 out of 10 rig, bud.
that is rough.
That's some rough gaming.
Have
right
a great
there.
year. Rated at least 8 out of 10, just like Owen's kids.
You missed the first
Boom.
paragraph.
I feel like you missed a spot. Yeah, you did.
I got it, Jaron. Don't
Jaron
worry.
literally-
I got you
Jaron-
covered, bud.
You got it,
I got
Lando?
Jaron physically can't read it.
He just
He physically can't. You're trying to make him do something that he physically isn't capable of doing.
He
So
want-
let's just let Lando.
the thought of of promoting or telling someone else that they did a good job. Just Jaron cannot handle it.
It's the
Oh,
equality.
it's
It's the fairness. It's not that you got praise. It's that you got praise.
Everyone, you get better.
So,
This is true.
Yeah,
Jared, what
but-
you're saying is this is not about the fact that you can't give Tony a compliment. This is about the sickness inequity.
No, it's
fact that-
it's the compliment thing.
No,
Jaron-
it's the
sure.
sickness
Jaron came-
and equity.
I
Let
think
me
Jaron
tell you
came
why I
on
know
so
when
many
he
more
was-
times.
Let me tell you why I know
so
it's the
many more times.
Let me tell you why I know it's definitely the compliment thing.
Tony,
Because
I love your shirt.
no, that doesn't count.
That
Um,
felt
And
so
you're a
forced.
great podcast host. Like I don't like doing it.
Oh,
Can
then
you
read
say
the
he's the
email.
MVP?
You keep it going. It's great.
Okay, now
Good
you're
job.
warmed up. Now you're warmed up. Now read the email.
the fact that Jaron never ever ever likes anything I put on social media, on Blue
I don't
Sky,
like any. I don't
on
like
Blue
anyone's
Sky or
stuff on social
Twitter
media.
or
You
anything
never-
like that.
you never
That is
send
the
the
proof
love?
that he will not show the love, will not compliment. Right there. That's all you need to know.
It's because your jokes
So
are funnier than
cold-hearted,
his.
Jaron.
That's a weird yardstick to measure by right there.
I like it though.
I think it makes sense.
Jaron, read the first paragraph.
All right,
Except
let's get
I
on
just
with the
wanted to drop
show.
I just
Physically
this-
can't do it.
then the subject. The subject of the email is
MVP of May. We're all MVPs.
read the first paragraph, please.
Love the podcast.
Nope, before
That's
that.
That's the second paragraph.
MVP of May.
All
That's
right,
the
I'll
subject.
read it. I'll read it.
Here goes.
Alex Thompson. I just wanted to drop
I just
a
wanted
quick
to drop
note
a quick note.
to recognize,
To
what
recognize
a champ Tony
is.
to still do
To
the
still
podcast
do the podcast
despite dying from the plague.
The
The
MVP of May.
of May.
Thanks for reading that, Jaron.
Thanks.
It felt forced, but
rough.
I know. But it felt forced, but heartfelt. I don't
I was
know how
trying
you
to
did
be a slight echo to be annoying, but
that. Yeah, it worked
You
out.
just ended up reading it.
It
Good
ended
job.
up being it ended up being reverb, which just made it better.
And I got to say, Jaron's reaction to this made the email so much better than it ever would have been without it.
Here,
So,
I'll give you a sneak
great job,
sneak
Jaron.
peek into our super secret Discord channel here for a second.
Alright.
We get this. So every time you guys send us an email, it pops up to into Discord because way past
in our,
old
in our
Owen,
Slack. In our Slack.
Slack.
or Slack, right?
Yeah.
Way past old Owen connected it
did-
somehow, so they just pop up here. We don't know how it works. It works. It's magic. Hopefully, it never breaks. Not the point.
I've been in there recently. It's good.
Still good.
So this email comes in. Owen says, "Ha! The fans like the slightly longer episodes." Okay, cool. But then Jaron comes in
Nobody
hot.
cared about that.
Nearly 2 hours later, 3 hours later, all caps. WTF? I sound like I'm dying at least once a year, and no one cares about that. But the dink Tony gets sick once, just once. I think it's called champ.
I'm the champ.
And then what did
Owen.
Owen say after that?
Whoa, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm right. Thanks, Owen.
Factually, no,
Thanks,
you didn't.
buddy.
No. It was just admitting that those are facts. I
Yeah,
wasn't.
they were
I wasn't
facts,
agreeing.
yes.
I wasn't agreeing with you.
No, yeah.
Jaren goes on to say, they clearly like Tony, the champ. Yeah, Owen is loved. You and me are the foil. Talking about me, Lando and Jaren.
Yeah. I know what role I play on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm in.
And then
No.
Tony later, like
I like when Tony finally rolled out of bed because he's almost
this
dead
is
still.
11:35 p.m.
Yeah.
at night. This is long after it happened this morning.
Yeah.
I'm the champ, bitches. Nearly
I
10
thought
hours
that was
later,
So
just pops out of
funny.
nowhere.
Jaren's response: Tony's a wiener, not a champ. This is the one that got me. This is one that made me laugh out loud as I was driving.
Tony's a
wiener
not
is a
champ.
My
Tony says,
wiener
"My wiener is a champ."
is
I
a
responded
champ.
with the gif of the guy holding wearing the hot dog suit, saying, "Let
Yes.
me tell you about my wiener."
Ask me
Or
about
ask me
my
about.
wiener.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep.
Anyway, that's our super secret.
Hilarious. Very funny. Thanks for writing in, Alex.
I'm the
We
champ,
appreciate you.
bitches.
Yeah, especially because it's going to make this episode longer.
It's true.
Boom.
And
That's
it's
you
gonna
want. You want.
And-
You want longer episodes? You write in. That's the way it goes.
Longer episodes and
we
angrier
get off on-
Jarens.
Mhm.
Doesn't get
'Cause
much
we get
better
off
than
on-
that.
We get off on tangents with these emails. I'm telling you.
I expended the rest of my energy in the last 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to be low energy Jaren the rest of the show.
No, we'll trigger you somehow.
Bummed out Jaren.
We'll talk about. Oh, we got some maybe news. Didn't we get some maybe news in our super secret Discord today about some game or something that's coming?
Oh no,
maybe?
it's on the show now.
It's on the show notes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So that's gonna bring up Jaren energy, right? Maybe. Come on, Jaren.
Well, I can't talk about it till Tony tees me up.
Oh,
All right. We got some big news from Epic. Did they actually win?
It kind of sounds like they actually won. Fortnite, as of right now, is officially on the iPhone
In the U.S.
in the
even.
U.S.
in the U.S.
How did
in the
this
App
come
Store.
about? I thought the only way this
Wow.
is going to be possible is in the UK, where they have to, where they're forced to allow side loading.
Yeah, interesting, right? Turns out if you piss off a judge a lot, they're really going to hate you. And Apple pissed off the judge so much.
They're in the find out phase.
Like it wasn't even part of the findings that the judge issued that Epic should be allowed back on the App Store. But I think Apple just pissed her off so much that the judge was like, "All right, I'll give it to you." So
That's true
Man.
justice right there.
That is
Vendettas, true justice right there.
yeah, I'm gonna read some of this.
To be
Statement.
fair, I
Brief
believe they
here.
were. To be fair, I believe they were really talking down to her, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
judge.
So the court thus issues the court is in receipt of Epic Games' motion to enforce the injunction. The court thus issues this order to show cause as to why the motion should not be granted. Briefing shall occur on the schedule listed below and shall include the legal authority upon which Apple contends that it can ignore this court's order, having not received a stray from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal, even though its request was filed 12 days ago.
That's right. They ignored the order from the appeals court.
Obviously, Apple is fully capable of resolving this issue without further briefing or a hearing. However, the parties do not file a joint notice that this issue is resolved, and this court's intervention is required. The Apple official who is personally responsible for ensuring compliance shall personally appear, personally is twice in one sentence, at the hearing hereby set for Tuesday, May 27th. Blah, 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 blah. Man, that
Jeez.
judge is pissed at Apple. And so after that, that was yesterday. Apple finally approved it.
That is hilarious.
Yes. And so like it really felt like Apple or Epic lost most of the lawsuit 4 years ago or whenever that was.
Mm-hmm.
But now it feels like they are victorious.
But a little bit of a spit in the eye, right? Because yeah, Apple crushed them a few years ago with all the stuff, but like the main thing was just not having their app on the App Store. They're basically like, you'll never work in this town again.
But
And
now they're working in
but
this
now
town
they're
again.
but now they're back on there. The one thing that they were truly fighting over is back on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I downloaded it, installed it. I
Ooh,
went through
your iPhone value just went up like
Yeah.
$1,000, man.
I went through the torture of trying to navigate the Fortnite menus.
Oh,
Oh
it's
my
a nightmare.
gosh. I
Yeah.
thought it was bad years ago. I haven't logged in for years into Fortnite.
That thing's a
It
dumpster
is-
fire.
There's
I don't know
It's
how
so
anyone gets around
flashy.
that thing.
It's so flashy. You don't know where to click.
There's so much going on. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's
It's
meant
bad.
for for
bad.
a 1 second attention span where you need to have something. I mean,
But sure enough, when you go and buy something, there are now two options. Link out to
yeah.
the web where you can buy it for 20% cash back in Epic Bucks or
Wow.
whatever, or through in-app purchase. Now, Epic didn't need to put the in-app purchase in there.
But they did.
So, but they did.
I think-
there's two options.
I think they did it I think they did it to contrast though. Like having the two options makes you so much more aware of how much Apple is charging.
That's true.
Right? And then being like, why would I even do that? I'm going to go do this method if I get
Well, they're charging the same, but they're just giving you 20%
You're getting
cash
more for your money.
yeah. Which is more value, right?
Yeah.
Right. More value.
So not charging quite
Now,
the same.
obviously, Apple has appealed this, so we may see more fireworks down
Yeah.
the road. And I mean, if it goes to the same judge, they're going to lose.
Oh, if it goes to the same judge.
I don't know enough about our legal system to know like how the appeals process works here. But Epic in the end got what they wanted.
yeah.
So
That's awesome.
wow, very very interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of Epic, but I applaud them for making
David
it
and Goliath.
better for other developers
Yep.
to not be charged as much from Apple.
Yeah,
It's great.
And I think it sets a good precedent because, like, again, they're able to give cash back to you and sell it for a cheaper price because they're not taking the huge hit. So Epic's still making money while also being able to lower the price for people buying the in-app purchases, right? Because
Well, so here's the thing. Apple takes 30%. Epic is giving them 20% back, the users,
yeah,
when you buy.
so they're
as
still making
additional
10%,
V-Bucks.
right?
So they're still making 80% of the purchase
Right, that's right.
going through their own stuff after they give back. Or is it like 80, 75?
credit card fees will probably be like 3 to 5%.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I forgot
I-
about credit card
yeah.
fees. So
But still-
close to 80%. I
think
so they're
that's-
still technically making more money.
And I think this is
Then
what
going
Apple is
through
more
Apple.
terrified about than anything else. Like whatever with the whole with Epic and everything, but the precedent where other app creators are like, "Whoa. I can go around that if I just offer a purchase option outside of Apple because
be
Apple's
huge.
marketplace makes billions
Oh, yeah.
of dollars
Yeah,
with,
and
with the way they have it now.
because of the monopoly, they haven't iterated on the App Store at all.
No, they don't need
in,
to.
in years. And
Right.
because of
Which
this,
is fine.
now I
Why-
can buy
why
Kindle
iterate,
books
Darren?
directly on my phone. It's great.
You can buy those directly now, right? You can go out
Yeah.
to.
Did they already make that change in the Kindle app?
Oh, they made that a week ago.
Oh, nice.
Week and a half
And
ago.
again, like, yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
say they deserve it because they haven't iterated and they just kept the. They
Yeah,
kept the
it was
monopoly,
clearly
you know?
monopolistic what they were doing,
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
Yep. All right, let's bring Lando into the conversation here. Hey, bud.
Hi, I'm here.
Hey.
Let's talk about one of your stories.
I have a story.
Oh, those are Owen's stories. Never mind. Oh, and
Lando,
let's bring Owen
Lando,
to the
what game are you playing right now?
Sorry.
What mobile game? What game are you
I
playing
can't
on your
read.
phone?
You can play Fortnite now.
I
you go
was
play
thinking about
Fortnite?
trying Fortnite actually.
Go do that.
Yeah, I could do that.
Get a
I have
controller.
a backbone.
Oh yeah,
I
if
do.
you have a backbone already, play with your backbone. It's way better than the
Have you
touchscreen
had
controls.
you've been spending your time driving now, listening to audiobooks instead. But
I have
do you
been.
ha-
I've been
you
listening to
have more
audiobooks
game?
like crazy because Owen
told
got
you.
mad at me for working while driving,
told you,
and
you
then
can't work. You got to shut down, man.
I agree with Owen. Your time is your time.
I don't know if you see my stats, but I've listened to like probably 6 hours worth of audiobooks in the past 4 or 5 days.
Atta boy.
I do not check stats. Jaren shamed me on that one time, and I'll never.
What?
He was
What are you
like,
talking about?
One time you listened to or watched something on Plex, and you were like, "Well, yeah, but now Owen can see everything you watch," and that was the very last time you ever watched anything on my Plex.
James
Anyway.
did tell me I should be playing. I need to play Fallout New Vegas. I've never played it. I just don't know how to play it at this point in my life.
You need a Steam Deck, man.
I do need
Stream,
a Steam Deck.
stream,
the way to
Stream
do
Deck. Stream Deck.
Steam Deck.
Oh,
They're different
Steam Deck.
things.
Yeah, different one. Yeah.
All right, get us back on track.
What
What
if
do you
James-
want?
All right.
Is
Does
that,
James
is that
still
a
have a Steam
streaming
Deck? I
game
wonder if I could borrow it.
from Xbox?
I don't know if Fallout is available to stream on Xbox.
No, Steam Deck.
No, if you were to stream it like on your on your Mac through Xbox's streaming service.
Oh, let me enter Owen mode and
No,
figure
you
that
can't.
out. You guys
Fallout
keep
New
talking.
Vegas
Oh, is it on there?
He's on cloud gaming.
There you go. So
There you
there's
go.
an option.
If you have Game Pass.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, speaking of handheld gaming devices, this is some interesting stuff here, Owen. You have SteamOS on your ROG.
Would you guys put
100%.
Okay,
I
so
would
that
100% do it.
That
As
blew
soon
my
as-
mind because when you guys were like, I just wanted to like when you guys moved from the Steam Deck
So here's
to the
thing.
ROG Ally, one of the things you guys said was things just work in Windows,
Here's
and
the
it
thing.
just is better experience for gaming.
With something
No,
like the ROG.
You're twisting my words.
I think I kind of said that. But with the ROG Ally, you build a dual boot. And so for your
True.
launchers that aren't Steam, you can boot into Windows, play those nice and easy, nice and simple. And when you want to play Steam games, you boot into that Steam OS and get
Something
all
still
the
bothers me about having to reboot into another OS though.
I would just do
Right.
straight SteamOS.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
put Windows on there, huh?
No, because like I wouldn't play any Windows specific games. I don't play multiplayer on my Ally.
You don't play any Game Pass games.
No. I
Like-
don't.
And that's
Like
that's my
Doom
next
Dark
question.
Ages.
Not
is-
on my Ally. I would do it on
I
my
guess-
laptop or
I
my
guess
desktop.
that's my next question. On my Steam Deck, when I had it for a very short period of time, but I did use their cloud gaming to play. You can launch, you
Yeah,
can
stream
launch
from
games,
Steam.
from there. But you can't get the Game Pass launcher on Steam right now, right? Like it's not
I
a
don't
thing.
think so.
So yeah, you'd have to do dual boot in order to play all your Game Pass games, right?
Yep.
Anyway,
Or stream them from your
so
computer.
so that's my
with
initial
Moonlight.
question. Is I guess I was a little bit shocked by that, where you're guys like, absolutely, I'd put Steam OS on my ROG Ally, but
It's a better experience. I think you get better battery life. You get better performance.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
especially because Valve has been putting so much effort into, before you can put SteamOS on whatever, but you miss the Steam button, right? Like the shutdown and the sleep hibernation settings, and so
So-
they've been putting a lot of effort into the SteamOS.
That stuff is important, yes, but the biggest thing that SteamOS will provide that Windows does not have is preloaded shader caching,
Oh, so you don't have to do it
so
every
that
time.
your
Yeah.
games will run with less stutters on SteamOS than they will
and
on
loading
Windows.
times, right? Because it doesn't have to go get the shaders.
And it's like sometimes things just run better. I got this game Asterix and Obelix XXL Remastered.
Those are a lot of words. Say that again
yes.
slowly.
Asterix and Obelix XXL Remastered.
Huh. Okay.
So
This is a PS2 game that they remastered.
Oh.
Anyway, on the ROG Ally, for whatever reason, it does not use the full GPU resources. Like it does 40%. So
What
my
the heck?
my frames per second are around 30 something. Not
Barf.
great. But on my Steam Deck, it runs at full 60, perfectly
Oh.
fine.
nice. So we've known that they're working on SteamOS. Valve now has a badge they're putting on their some of the games now, a label. It's rolling out over the next few weeks to denote whether or not a game and all of its middleware, including the functionality, the launcher, the anti-cheat, all that stuff, if it's SteamOS compatible. So Steam is preparing for a world where the Steam Deck is not the only hardware running SteamOS. And so they're starting to put that in there to see if it's, basically saying SteamOS ready, so that you can know if a game will work on your other hardware. So that's rolling out. That they've just barely started rolling that out. I don't know what that takes to get SteamOS compatible labeled, but
They
I
just
talked
go
about that
through.
last week.
They go through and test it. That's all. Sometimes their testing isn't very good though, because there's several times where games have been Steam Deck approved and they ran like dookie.
yeah.
The Spider-Man 2 is a great example. when that first launched, they said it was Steam Deck approved, and they actually had to remove that label from it after a couple of weeks because it ran so poorly.
This is their track record, right? Like they did this with Steam Deck at first, right?
Right.
Where it
Yeah,
was
that's,
like,
that's
we're-
what this. That's what I was referencing.
Yeah.
And so don't expect it much better for the
Right.
SteamOS approved label. Honestly,
They did. The developers did have to. So that all the developers had to do was opt in to make it make it Steam Deck compatible, and then it would
No, not necessarily.
Well, and then Valve is supposed to check it.
to check it.
They run a
And
thing on it.
And I'm sure that they probably
test
don't.
it.
Now that we know
if
how
there's anti-cheat, you can't just
can you
sometimes
can you imagine that's how lean we know how lean now how lean Valve runs as employees. So imagine that's you.
That was
That
crazy.
you have to go. I have to check every game.
Well,
What they say is-
thanks for bringing up a story we talked about last week.
Did we talk about this last week?
Yes, we
I-
did.
Yeah, Lando did. It was Lando's
Oh.
only story.
Thank you. I'm not going crazy. I'm like, what's happening? I'm pretty sure I talked about
okay.
this last week. Do you
I
guys even listen
think-
to what the words I say?
No.
We just
I mean,
kind
And
of
you
yes.
wonder why I don't talk.
You're
you
like, "Oh,
usually
there's something last
you're
week."
usually cheering for a Padres game.
The Padres game is over for the night. They lost to
thought
the
you-
Blue Jays, and it sucks.
I thought you
How
said
do you know that?
pod race, like Star Wars
pod
racing.
racing game.
Padres.
And I got excited for a second. but it's
Well, I apologize. That was a repeat then. But I guess the question is, as SteamOS gets closer to being whatever it's going to be, I don't know why I would. I guess I'm too embedded in Game Pass. I'm not Steam with my games, even though I have a ton of library catalog with Steam. But I can run Steam from my ROG. So like one way works with both systems, Game Pass and Steam, and one way doesn't work
Dual boot.
the other way. Yeah, dual boot, fine.
Dual boot.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of handhelds, MSI announced a new handheld,
This
the
their
Claw
Claw? Yeah.
A8. This one, unlike their other ones, is powered by AMD instead of the Intel chip.
Poor Intel.
It's they're going to continue selling the other one as well. This is just an AMD option.
Yeah, but no one's gonna buy the other one.
Yeah, you're probably right.
This is the same chip that's in the ROT Ally X, right?
No, this is the new
It's
stuff.
The new
Oh,
Z2
okay.
The
Extreme.
Z2 Extreme. So it's 16 GPU cores versus 12, and
We
slightly
talked
faster.
about the Z2 Extreme last week, I think.
I think so, yeah. So
Oh.
this is what it's going to have. Now, one difference that it will have that is kind of a bummer is 24 gigs of RAM instead of 32. Hopefully that's reflected in the price, and they charge less for less RAM. Now, that being said, 24 gigs of RAM on a system like this, I think, is perfectly adequate.
At what point do you get tempted to upgrade? Is this maybe an upgrade
this
for
isn't
you?
going to do it for me.
No.
Mostly because there's no mention of VRR on the display anywhere, which I think is a
Yeah.
big miss.
Yeah, that's the best feature of the ROG Ally, in my opinion.
The VRR display. So, yeah, that'll be coming out. Did they put a launch date for that?
March.
No, that was when the
It's
last
just
one.
announced at this point.
Oh.
Yeah, no launch date yet, but it is on the way. Looks like they might have some cool colors. So we'll see.
I don't like the design of it, honestly.
It looks uncomfortable,
Yeah.
kind of too angular. But
Yeah. So
they,
Best
they
Buy
tried
has
to
their
go more gamery, and I think they just went uncomfortable and ugly.
yeah,
yeah, because Best Buy has their Intel version one listed at $1,000.
it's pricey.
Yeah. So do you think this will come in higher than the Intel version?
No, it'll be less because it's got
Yeah.
less RAM and a smaller SSD. So
Well, there you go. Maybe it compares. Maybe it's price wise,
we shall
price to
see.
performance. Yeah.
All right. Jaren has some game specific video games updates.
Yep. Stellar Blade coming out to PC on June 11th.
Woot woot.
Yep. So that
What's
was a
that game?
PS5 exclusive up until now. It got really good reviews from this new studio. So
You mean
yeah.
Jiggle Physics, the game?
Jiggle Physics, the game version.
Yes. Dead or Alive. The
It lives
action
on
game.
through this game.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
And then Prince of Persia remake that, as we all know, has been delayed. It's coming in early 2026. by
That
April
game's been in
2026.
That game has been in development purgatory for a couple years now.
Yeah.
I hope it's good because the Prince of Persia, the one that they're remaking, that was one of my favorite games when I was
Sands
younger.
of Time? Is
Yeah,
it?
Sands of Time
Yeah.
was so good.
I've tried to play that somewhat recently, and the controls just don't feel good in today's age.
I played the Switch version. It was pretty fun.
I haven't played it in a long, long time, but I remember thinking the controls were fine. Maybe I had different standards back in the day, though.
Yeah, like back in the day, it felt like controls were different for every single game. You just get used to them.
Yeah.
But now, like, it's just so standardized. And then last but surely not least, and the best news of all time, Uncharted is coming.
Is it for
A
sure
new Uncharted game
Are you
by
sure?
Naughty Dog, guys.
Are you
It's
sure
confirmed.
Uncharted?
I don't know that they specifically
says
said
might
it was.
be
It says
Uncharted.
might be. This might be a. You know what, Tony? We might have to edit this out. This might be. What do we call that? A rumor. We don't.
Fake news,
We don't
rumors?
report.
Alternate
Yeah, we don't
facts.
really talk.
Naughty
about
Dog
rumors
confirms
here.
it has 2 games in development,
Okay.
and one of them they've already announced. It's
That
that
sci-fi one.
Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet game.
Yep.
And so, and they said that they're not working on Last of Us right now.
So
They're done with that for now. What else can it be?
Crash
What else
Bandicoot.
could it possibly be?
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot.
Naughty
No,
Dog
they
there,
they
Crash
sold that
Bandicoot.
IP. They don't have it anymore.
Oh, they don't
Activision
own that
has
IP
it.
anymore?
No. So
Well, they're buying it back, obviously.
I guess it could be Jack and Daxter. I wonder
Oh,
if
I
they own that
forgot
IP.
about Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, let's see who.
So this is an
owns-
interesting little paragraph I found in the article that Jaren linked here. I think this actually this is good news for Jaren. It says when speaking with the Press X to continue podcast, Naughty Dog boss Neil Druckmann confirmed that the studio is working.
What did you call him?
I liked
Druckmann, Druckmann. I don't
Druckmann.
care.
I
read
like
fast, I don't
Dirkman
care.
better, though.
I don't care. I don't
Druckmann.
care what you guys say. I don't care how you make fun of me. Jared, I'm trying to help you. Shut your face.
I was
The
just
studio is
caught
currently
off
working on a
guard.
second game that he's helping produce, but he won't be directing. In essence, this means that he just came in and provided feedback, but a lot of heavy lifting is on someone else's shoulders. It's likely that this is the new game helmed by Uncharted: The Lost Legacy director. Name here, I'm not going to say it because you guys are making fun of me.
I don't know.
Which has been in
Sean
the works for a
Eskig?
while now. This has been rumored and speculated that Naughty Dog is working on a new Uncharted game, possibly with Nathan Drake's daughter.
Oh, it's not even with Nathan Drake.
It's
As long as his daughter's got the Nathan Drake charm, I'm fine with that.
Well, of course she will. It's
Jaron, I'm trying to
genetic.
help
It's
you.
genetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Jaron. I'm going to play this game regardless of what it is.
Thanks, Lando. It's Uncharted. It's happening. It's been confirmed. Everyone's gonna love it. It's gonna be Game of the Year.
I would not go as far as to say it's been confirmed.
You just confirmed it.
So
I alluded to
Uncharted
it.
and Last of Us has been their bread and butter for a decade, right?
Yeah, a
Like,
long time.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so excited for their sci-fi game that they're working on.
Capitalism.
Galactic.
The video they showed off for it, yeah, it's all pre-rendered, but that's okay because their games always look amazing either
The
way,
Heretic
even during
Prophet.
gameplay.
What engine do they use? Are they use
They use their own custom engine,
nice?
but I love their storytelling, and I can't wait to see what they do in a sci-fi, like a full-on sci-fi universe.
I guess it could be Jack and Daxter. Sony owns it, but a lot of the games have been outsourced already at Dawn, which now
Dude,
Facebook owns, and
Like,
High Impact
and
Games.
I hope that they release it on April 1st.
I don't think it's
You
Jack
know?
and Daxter.
And
That's not-
they'll be like Jack and Daxter, April Fools, it's Uncharted.
Yeah.
Oh man, can you imagine what I will be like when that happens?
Untenable.
Jaren, so this is obviously years away, right? You're gonna have to buy a
if ever.
PlayStation 6 when it comes out.
Yeah. You don't think we as a society will be past console exclusives by then?
It
like
might
in
be
10
that
years?
long.
Like
Yeah.
maybe in 10 years, like when
Well,
it comes
Sony and
out.
Nintendo are still going to do console exclusives. for
They'll
sure.
be the ones for sure. keeping it
Sony
up.
will keep releasing games on PC, but it's still probably going to be time gated.
They always have like a 2-year delay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Very good. Speaking of delays that should probably happen, Marathon by Bungie. It's not looking great right now.
They're getting a lot of
internet and the fans have decided that they need to step up their game. First of all, in that Bungie has been busted twice now using
For-
other artists' assets,
Oh no.
just lifting them.
just
Lifting 'em.
lifting them wholesale, basically, and not crediting the author and not even letting them know that they're doing that. And that's a big no-no. There's two things that are going to get you in big trouble right now in video game development, and one of them has been around forever, which is stealing assets. That's always
Don't do
going to
it.
get you in trouble. That, and then also using AI,
Right.
AI generated
Assets, yeah.
stuff for assets. So they're in hot water right now for that. And then a lot
There
of people
just seems
are,
to be a lot of Bungie hate lately in general.
exactly. That's what I was going to say. They've just lost a lot of goodwill.
How far they have
And
fallen.
They are saying the article here has quoted a bunch of people from social media. So take that for what it's worth. But since Bungie has lost this much goodwill, it would probably be a good idea to push off the release of this game until things cool down, so that people aren't as mad about Bungie and don't end up review bombing it.
When
kind
is
of
it
Yeah.
thing.
supposed to come out?
It is. I thought it was coming out later, like within the next few months.
September 23rd.
Yeah, so 4 months
Okay.
from now, and it might not be a bad idea to sit on it and polish it until maybe the holidays.
Just
Yeah.
until
Owen knows
yeah.
all about sitting on it and polishing it.
I'm
Got
know
him.
that.
He's nuts.
Oh yeah.
Got him. Got him.
So I guess the art director, the game director and the art director had a very uncomfortable live stream that basically they just cut all the footage
They
because
probably
they're
got
like
confronted.
sorry, we're still scrubbing all of our assets to make sure that we're being respectful of the situation, because it was confirmed that they lifted art from this guy, that a former Bungie artist. So basically there was one bad egg that was like, whatever, maybe not just one, but lifting art from other games, like indie games and stuff that people thought would never go anywhere. Bad move.
The fact that they had to address that in a live stream and say, "Sorry guys, we can't show you more of our game right now
Because we're not sure there's
because
not more
we're not
stolen
sure if we're
footage.
stealing."
More
Oh, that is so bad. Like
Oh.
they weren't controlling the narrative.
like
at
where's
all.
Not even a little
QA?
bit.
Where's QA on this at all? Like, show me the original assets. Anyway,
Bad news for Bungie.
so yep.
All right, and then also, speaking of being tone deaf, good old Randy Pitchford. If you don't know who Randy Pitchford is, he is the CEO of Gearbox.
This is
the
great.
the Borderlands guys.
Okay.
And this is by far not even close to the first time he's put his foot in his mouth. He has a tendency to pop off and say things that make you go, "Really?"
This is what rich people do.
That's exactly what it comes across as, is people who just he's
Disconnected. Right?
disconnected. He's the guy. He seems like the kind of guy that thinks he's an alpha, but isn't, and everyone knows he isn't.
Like, yeah.
And so he
Who's the
acts
worst
that way.
kind?
He acts that
Coach.
way, and it's like, dude. So here's what happened just the other day. Someone on was it Twitter? Yeah, it was an exchange on social media. Didn't say which one it was, but the fan says, "Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed this notion of constant increase of price tag. You are the CEO. You have some say with the price when it comes to your publisher." Here's what Randy Pitchford said back. A, not my call.
Not my call. Just
B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for the Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. Yep. His answer is get more money.
Yeah.
Get
good.
Well,
Why
let's
don't
see,
you
minimum
get-
wage
get-
really hasn't increased too much compared to cost of living since that time.
That's the
Get
thing.
get good.
And not only that, if he was just out of high school working a minimum wage job, you know he was living at his parents' house, not
Oh, yeah.
paying any bills,
And I found a way. I asked for it for Christmas.
right? Like, especially with the way the economy is right now and everything going on,
Tariff wars, trade
all
wars.
of that, all
right?
of that. And his answer is, I mean, if you're a real fan, you'll just fork over the $80.
I did it, so why can't you?
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you, have you tried getting good?
This guy's the literal worst.
Cracks me up. And like I said, this isn't the first time he's
I
said
bet
something
that
tone deaf.
was that inflammatory. Did he get so much heat for that?
Oh, dude, the internet is.
I bet he
is
got
eating him alive
flamed
right
for
now.
that. Yeah.
Here's some responses. LMAO CEO said, "Real fan, woo wee in this economy." Another one. Wow, that's a pretty bad take. Cost of living crisis, and you're just gonna say, if you're a real fan, damn.
Yeah. So
The guy-
basically saying I'm not a real. You guys aren't real fans.
Yeah.
Unless you make it happen.
Another guy. What an elitist, out of touch response.
Out of touch for sure.
His solution, just buy it because you know you will. Is this how you treat loyal customers?
Yeah, that's Nintendo's deal. You
Right.
can't take. That's what Nintendo does, and they can.
Yep. So yeah, it's wild. Good old Randy Pitchford popping off again. All right, and let's wrap it up with a story about Sony.
Oh yeah. So back in 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine, Sony closed up shop, moved out of Russia.
Yep.
It's taken them 3 years, but they are finally. Many users have been reporting mass account suspensions on PlayStation. So now they're officially banning any of the accounts owned by or logging in or whatever with Russian IPs.
So they're not even supporting the infrastructure of their
No.
games.
Can you
in
imagine
Japan.
that? Like
in Russia.
they don't even get their money back either. I don't know. That's rough. I get it because the whole thing is a bunch of people trying to say, hey, if you want it back, change your government. Like it's all political. But man, sometimes you just need to play a game. You know?
Yeah, it's rough.
Now they don't
Especially
have any
since-
reason to stay home. They're like,
Es-
well, now I will go fight in the war.
I was gonna say, especially since a lot of these people have no say in what their government decides
Right,
to do
of
with,
course.
with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But how do you hurt
They
a
just need to
country?
go stand
How-
outside the
how-
Kremlin with their game
Bring
system
back
and be like,
PlayStation.
yeah, be like, let my people go.
Yeah.
Like,
But the other on the other side of it, how do you make a country feel the pinch without declaring war?
how do you motivate?
And
How do you
it's
motivate
through-
this class of people?
It's through
these
economic
gamers?
sanctions
Yeah.
and stuff, you know?
Like, how do you motivate these people to go out and vote their mind? Is this the thing?
There's no real voting over there.
No,
know.
there's not.
No.
Yeah.
There's not.
Last
can
time
vote
I
your
think
mind.
last
You
time
might-
Putin was elected, he had like a 90-something%.
Oh,
win.
his approval. Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's total nonsense.
yeah.
you know?
So, but anyway, yeah. So Sony's cutting them off, and of course, Russian customers are like calling into support, and they're just like, nope. So Sony checks the IP addresses for verification, which I guess if you were running a VPN on your entire network to put you somewhere else, maybe.
You might be
If
able to
they're
do that,
just-
but then you introduce latency.
Wouldn't they just
Yeah.
have Russian PSN accounts?
Well, that's what
They would-
that's
that
what
would
they're
force-
shutting down is the Russian
Yeah.
PSN
Yeah.
accounts.
And Russia can't recreate the PSN
So
locally
you would have to-
like they've done for
you
other
have to
things.
use a VPN
And rebuy all your games.
and rebuy all
Yeah.
your games from another country's account.
Exactly.
Another account
And
from another country.
with the latency of a VPN, plus Russia absolutely actively trying to crush all VPNs.
Yep.
out
Oh
of the
yeah, that's
country.
right.
They are because
Yeah.
they don't want any real footage to come in or out
Yeah, they don't want the real
because
news.
Ukraine has a huge social media campaign and cyber campaign trying to inform the Russian people because the misinformation over there is that they're clearing out a Nazi regime out of Ukraine.
Yeah.
And Ukraine's like, no. But
I don't
in order to
think
come,
so.
Our president's a Jew.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Does not
exactly.
compute.
so anyway, but yeah, so they're trying to lock down information, which is one of the things you have to do in an authoritarian government like that. So yeah, probably not a great idea, but They can't play no more. No more PlayStation games.
Yeah. All right. On that note, it's the end of the episode.
Yep.
Lando.
You know what that means, Tony? Time to pimp the Patreon.
That's exactly what that
Patreon's
means.
amazing. You get some fantastic benefits for signing up to our Patreon. We give you back some bonus content. You get access to our super secret Discord channel. You get both shows early, ad-free, with the in-between. That's the bonus content part of it. It's the best. You also get, if you give us $6 or more, Jaron Says Words. We like to frame it as you get a shout-out over the air. But what it really is, dear listener, it's an opportunity for you to write down whatever you want in your name field, because you can put whatever you want there, and make Jaron say the words. So if you wanted to make Jaron say something like, I don't know, Tony's the best, or Tony's the MVP of May, you could do that with your $6, and it would be well worth your time.
That champ. Tony's a champ.
So Jaron, give those listeners their shout out.
I think if that
now.
doesn't happen. Ooh.
Jaron's so incensed that his camera went
Yeah.
blurry.
It's the anger
You
roiling
see what I
off
did there,
him.
Tony? That was good, huh? I'm
It's
good.
It was
good.
excellent.
All right, big shout out and thank you to David Broshinsky, Interrupting Cow, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keesaw. Dang, the man saved
say the word.
empire.
Just
No,
say the word.
No, you don't have to. You can't make me.
Damn.
I
Ben
can't.
Trash
Man.
King Jones. Thank you. You guys are the
You
best.
can't say the word.
You the best.
Fourth Dimension Craft on Instagram for all your laser engraving needs. Meow. Why would I say meow? Meow. Jason Eatman. A turd in the hand is worse than two tossed in the bush. Andy
Accurate.
Bird. Be the 8-year-old. Windows gaming is for the lazy. Linux gamers unite.
Yep.
Kyle. Chester the Cheeto Commander and Chief.
I'm lazy.
Gary Ga Arimasu. Tony the Excel and Power Apps nerd. Pyman Graphics. Purveyor of fine geeky stickers. Curse Gengar 94. Keslo. Eric Diamond. Eric Cruz in between rating plus 569. Not sure. DP. I'm going to get stuck in Lang's beard. Wesley. Enter clever Patreon name here. Stuart Lloyd. Anyone who is capable of getting themselves made president should on no account be allowed to do the job. And finally, yes, Owen, we do care.
Mhm.
I
You know
gotta
what
say,
think? Go ahead.
as a person who likes the best in brand new graphic technology, Linux isn't the best choice there.
Not yet.
Maybe someday.
I mean, you
Yeah,
know
maybe
what?
someday.
Maybe
You know,
I hope.
You know our faithful in between raider in here in our Patreons. I think that we need to cumulatively add up everything. I think that we've been going week to week, like, oh, it's 569 this week, but he said plus 569. So maybe we need to start when he started, and then add them all up.
Okay,
Oh,
Rowan.
we don't
Rowan
have that.
rejected.
Rowan
yeah,
has a job.
Rowan
We don't have that
rejected that.
history.
After Twyman's burn of me searching through episodes, I'm not going to go do it anymore. I don't
Patreon
have the
doesn't carry that
confidence.
history anyway.
I don't have the confidence to do it.
All right. That is it. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the episode, for downloading us, and for riding along on this nonsense. We'll see you next week. Owen, take us out.
Hey, we hope you care.